Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something pretty wild.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine a painting going for over $1 million at Sotheby's.
Wow.
Which isn't that unusual, right?
I mean, not totally unheard of.
But what if the artist wasn't human?
Now that's where things get interesting.
That's right. We're talking about a humanoid robot artist.
Ida Robot.
Ida Robot, and she just made history.
Big time.
So her portrait.
Portrait of Alan Turing.
Yes. The father of artificial intelligence.
It's like poetry.
It really is. So this portrait sold for...
A lot.
It sold for $1,084,800.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was even reported as $1.3 million at first.
Oh, wow. So it made a big splash.
It really did. So, everyone listening probably already knows about Turing's work, but
there's more to the story.
yeah, there's this fascinating detail about his vision for AI that I bet you haven't heard.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Turing actually once spoke about machines potentially composing music.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this was way back when.
Oh yeah, that was a radical idea.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody was even thinking about that.
So he kind of predicted the artistic potential of AI before.
Before anybody even dreamed of a robot picking up a paintbrush.
It's so poetic.
It is. It really is. And for Ida to choose to honor him through art.
Yeah, like AI coming full circle.
Exactly. Paying homage to its own beginnings.
It's beautiful. Okay, so tell me about this artwork.
Okay. So what do you want to know?
Well, what's the style like?
Oh, okay. So Ida actually created a whole series of portraits of Turing.
Oh, wow.
15 of them.
15.
And each one took up to 8 hours to complete.
Wow.
The one that's sold at auction, that's a large-scale piece.
Right.
Really focused on his face.
And his eyes.
Especially the eyes. The color palette's pretty limited.
Oh, okay.
Mostly beiges, browns, and blacks with a few tiny dots of yellow and blue here and there.
So simple, yet so powerful.
Right.
So what do you think about those artistic choices? What's Ida trying to tell us about Turing?
Well, that's what makes this so interesting. When you see those eyes, the focus on the eyes and the muted colors, it creates this feeling of introspection, almost melancholy.
It's like she's reflecting the complexity of his life.
Exactly, a brilliant mind, but also faced a lot of persecution.
A real pioneer.
Who paved the way for the very technology that created Ida.
It's pretty amazing.
It is, and it almost feels like Ida is inviting us to think about Turing's legacy.
Yeah.
Not just his accomplishments, but the struggles too.
Yeah, the whole picture.
Right.
And this sale, it's not just about the money.
No, it's much bigger than that.
It feels like it could change how we see art.
I think it will. I think it definitely will. I mean, this sets a precedent for AI art in the auction world.
What does that mean?
Well, it raises all sorts of questions, like could we see galleries showcasing AI art next to traditional pieces?
Oh, that would be wild.
And what about collectors? Will they be looking for the next big AI artist?
Oh, like the next tech unicorn.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It really makes you think.
It really does.
So it's amazing that a machine can create art that, connects with us on an emotional level.
Yeah, it really is.
But Ida's talents don't stop there.
No, they don't.
She's actually been part of some pretty high-level discussions about the future of AI.
That's right. She was invited to speak at the UN Global Summit on AI for Good.
What?
Yeah, not once, but twice.
Oh, wow.
In 2023 and 2024.
So we've got a robot talking about ethical AI development at the United Nations.
Pretty much.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Definitely.
So what was her message at these summits?
Well, her main message was a call for caution
Okay.
and responsibility in how we develop AI.
So almost like a robot urging humans to be more thoughtful.
Exactly. To think about the consequences of the technology we create.
That's wild. So
Yeah.
did she give any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. She talked about the need to address bias in algorithms
Okay.
and the importance of using AI for good. Like in healthcare and education, not just for profit or surveillance.
Wow. What kind of impact did her words have?
Well, her presence definitely caused a stir.
I bet.
It made people really confront the fact that AI is not some distant thing anymore.
Yay.
It's here and it's powerful.
Powerful, and we need to manage it carefully.
Exactly.
Okay, so I can only imagine the reactions.
Oh, yeah, it was a big deal.
People must have been blown away.
A lot of people were just, amazed that they were actually hearing a robot talk about ethical issues.
Yeah, it must have been pretty surreal.
It was. It really was. And there were Q&A sessions so people could actually engage with iDay.
Really?
Yeah. And they even set up a live stream so people all over the world could participate.
So it was like a global conversation.
It was. And it gave everyone a chance to see and hear AI,
Expressing its own concerns.
Exactly. And it really challenged people's assumptions about, what AI is capable of.
And what its role should be.
Exactly. It's a big question.
It is. And it makes you think, if a robot can understand these complex issues, what does that say about us?
Wow, that's a deep one.
I know, right?
It really shows us how important it is to face these issues head on.
To really engage with them.
Right. We have to ask ourselves, what do we want from AI? How do we make sure it's used for good, not for harm?
It's like ideas holding up a mirror.
Yeah. I like that. A mirror to humanity.
Yeah, like she's asking us to really think about our values.
Our intentions.
When it comes to AI.
The choices we make today are shaping the world of tomorrow.
They really are. It's a powerful reminder. It's incredible how far AI has come.
It really is.
From, just a concept to a robot artist making us think about ethics and stuff.
And sparking global conversations.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So for our listener, what are the key takeaways here?
That's a good question.
What does it all mean for their lives?
Well, I think ID's story shows us how AI is already a part of our world.
Yeah.
In ways we might not even realize.
Yeah.
It's not just robots painting, it's the algorithms that shape our online experience.
Right.
The AI tools we use at work. Even self-driving cars.
So it's not just some future thing. AI is already here.
It's happening now.
What would you say to someone who's a little, apprehensive about all this?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even intimidated by how fast technology is changing.
Well, I think it's totally understandable to feel that way.
Yeah.
But instead of being afraid of AI, we should try to understand it.
Okay.
The more we learn about it, the more we can shape how it develops.
Right, and make sure it's used for good.
Exactly.
So how can our listener actually do that?
Let me think. There are tons of ways to get involved.
Okay.
You can check out AI art exhibits.
Okay.
Go to talks or webinars, even play around with some AI tools yourself.
Oh, cool. Like what kind of tools?
Well, there are tons of free resources online.
Okay.
You can learn basic coding, try out those AI image generators.
I've seen those.
Yeah. Or even try writing a poem with an AI assistant.
That's so cool.
It's all about, getting hands-on and seeing what AI can really do.
So it can actually be fun to learn about AI.
It can be.
And the more comfortable we are with it, the better we'll be able to deal with how it impacts our lives.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe our listener will discover a new talent.
Maybe they'll become an AI art collector.
Or make their own AI masterpiece.
That would be amazing.
This whole deep dive has been pretty eye-opening.
I agree.
We've gone from art to technology to humanity.
All through the lens of a robot artist.
Who's challenging our ideas about what's possible.
And making us think about the future.
A future full of possibilities.
And it's up to us to make sure it's a good one.
So to everyone listening, stay curious.
He's learning.
And be part of the conversation about AI.
It's important.
The future's in our hands.
Let's make it awesome.